After a while, the Welsh noticed all these Normans turning up and building mottes and baileys everywhere. And the hill forts weren't really working for them, because the problem is, if you're at the top of a hill fort defending the hill fort, they're all down at the bottom, taking the crops and the river and all that kind of thing and all natural resources. So they're not that bothered about you and your hill fort. They can just surround you and starve you out, because there's no wells at the top of a hill fort. So the Welsh quickly realised that they needed to do something to sort out these invaders and to look after their resources. So they kind of changed tactics, and that's what we're going to have a quick look at now, a place called Ewloe Castle. So this is Ewloe Castle, and it follows a similar design of having a motte type mound with a keep, which is a defensive stone structure, and a kind of bailey down at the bottom, which would still be the same sort of idea. You'd bring everything into the bailey, and then the rich people would live and be defended by this bit. But the difference is now you've got stone walls defending it, and you've got a water source inside the castle, and it's somewhere that you can actually put in a bit of a defensive long-term fight. So these are moved back to defensive castles again, and this is a Welsh castle built by the Welsh. So the idea now is you have the castle, which is behind the camera, defending this river valley, which is where your natural resources are. So if you've got cattle and sheep and all that kind of thing, you need somewhere for them to water, and you need water. Water is an incredibly valuable resource at this time. So instead of being stuck on a mountain top where you have no access to resources and you can defend on the short term, you can dig in here, and you've got a source of water from a well inside the castle, and you've also got all your natural resources that you can deny the enemy from using. So that's why the change of thinking to this kind of castle. But I kind of feel like there's a flaw with this castle, and no one's really explained it satisfactorily to me. So from that direction, you've got a steep hill coming up from the river valley, and England's that way, so they were kind of defending from people coming from that way. But you're up here in your keep, and you're looking down at the valley, and you've got a good 50 metres of altitude over people trying to come back up there and attack. But the thing is, the English aren't stupid. Now, they may live in that direction, but there's nothing stopping us going the other way. And remember that field I showed you? Well, look at this. That's the same field over there, and notice how it's actually at the same height as the highest point of this castle. So for some reason they built this castle halfway down a bank overlooking the river. Now, there must have been some advantage to it, because this castle stood for a good few hundred years. But it just seems to me that if I was attacking this castle, what I would do is take everybody up to this big field over here and throw stuff at the castle, because that high point over there, this is higher than the castle walls, so you could just look straight down into the castle and just busily throw arrows, rocks, whatever you want at the people in the castle. But the English did attack this castle, and eventually they did smash it, but they didn't keep it. And the reason they didn't keep it, I'm going to get into next time.